This will be for the consignment area of composite shapes. So they tell us there is a pair of parallel sides in the following shape, and they want us to find the area. So we can see that this side is definitely not parallel to this side. So I am going to indicate that the top is parallel with the bottom. And if you have a four-sided figure or quadrilateral with one pair of opposite sides parallel, that's a trapezoid. Alright, and the formula for the area of a trapezoid, it's actually the average of the two bases. So the way to find the average of two numbers is to add them and divide by 2. And you take that average of the two bases and you multiply that times the height. Alright, so I just called the bases B1 and B2. The bases are the parallel sides for the trapezoid. So adding the two bases, we have 12 plus 5. And that's divided by 2. And the height h is the perpendicular distance between the two bases. So you can see right here there's two right angles. So clearly this line here is the height h, and that's just 6. Alright, so this 6 is in the numerator, this 2 is in the denominator. We can cancel. 6 divided by 2 is just 3. 12 plus 5 is 17. And 17 times 3 is 51. Final answer. And you just enter that in the box, 51. Okay, and the reason the units are squared is because when we multiplied base times height, or the average of the two bases times the height, whatever the units are get multiplied by itself. So if it were feet times feet, it would be feet squared. So they just said units squared. So again, they tell us there's a pair of parallel sides. So clearly we can see this side is not parallel with this side. So it must be the top and the bottom. And I'm going to mark those sides parallel with the arrow symbol. Alright, and since we have a pair of parallel sides, it's a trapezoid. So same formula. You add the two bases and divide by 2, and that gets multiplied times the height. Alright, the bases are the parallel sides. So this side right here is a 10, and this side right here is a 2. So we have 10 plus 2 divided by 2 times the height h. H is the distance between the two bases. Has to be perpendicular. So that h is just 2. Okay, and this 2 is in the numerator. This 2 is in the denominator. So 2 divided by 2 cancels. And we're just left with 10 plus 2. So it says the following shape has one pair of parallel sides. Alright, I'm assuming it's these dashed lines right here. So let's see. I'm going to start with this triangle right here. We see that this side length here is 8, and this side length right here has to match this one here. So that's 5. Okay, but this piece right here is 3. So this entire side of the triangle, this whole thing right here, it's going to be 3 plus 5, so that's 8. All right, recall the formula for the area of a triangle. That's going to be 1/2 base times height. All right, and for a right triangle, the base and the height are the sides that are not the hypotenuse. Okay, if you go across from your right angle, that's your hypotenuse. So we're not using the hypotenuse. We're using 8 for the base. So that's 1/2 times the base, which is 8. And for the height h, we're using this one right here. That also happens to be 8. So 1/2 of 8 is 4. Then times this 8. That's going to be 36. So this triangle right here, the area is 36. Now let's do this one here the same way. One-half base times height. All right, keep the 1/2. And we said the base and the height for a right triangle are the sides that are not the hypotenuse. All right, so if you go across from your right angle, that's your hypotenuse. We're not using that side. So the base B is going to be 6. And the height H is going to be 5. Okay, 6 times 5 is 30. And half of 30 is just 15. So the area of this triangle right here is 15. All right, and we have this rectangle that's left. For the area, you can use base times height, or you can just say length times width. All right, I'll do it over here. The area for the rectangle is just length times width. All right, so we have a height of 5 and a base of 2. Or you can say length and width. It's going to be 5 times 2. So of course that's just 10. So the area of the rectangle is 10. All right, and now the total, or the sum of the areas, is going to be 36 plus 10 plus 15. So 36 plus 10 is 46, 56, 61. Final answer. So I basically found the area of this triangle, and this rectangle, and then added all 3 of them together, and I got 61. So just click inside the box and type 61. Okay, I made a small mistake. 4 times 8 is not 36. That's actually going to be 32. So this was 32. So when I added 36 here, I should have added 32. 32 plus 10 is 42. 52 plus 5, that's going to be 57. So that was my mistake. 57 for the total. All right, last one. They say the following shape has 1 pair of parallel sides. So I think the easiest way to do this one is to make a side right here. and we're going to subtract the area of this whole rectangle from the area of this missing space right here, which is a triangle. All right, so the area is going to be the area of the rectangle minus the area of the triangle. All right, because this triangle is empty space. So we know the area of a rectangle is length times width, or base times height. And the area of a triangle is 1/2 base times height. Okay, now these base and heights, they might not be the same. So let's see, for the rectangle, the height is 10 and the base is 7. Okay, for base times height, we're just going to do 7 times 10. And then for the triangle, we have the 1/2. And the base of the triangle right here is going to match this side, so that's 7. All right, so the base of the triangle is 7. And for the height of the triangle, that's going to be this distance inside the triangle. Okay, we make it perpendicular to the base. And if the whole thing right here is 10 and this piece right here is 6, then this height in here is just going to be 10 minus 6. So that's 4. So the height of this triangle is going to be 4. So in place of h, we write the 4. 7 times 10 is 70. Okay, and when you have a 1/2, always distribute it to the even number. These are all multiplied, so the order you multiply doesn't matter. So we have 7, and 1/2 of 4 is 2. Okay, 7 times 2 is 14. 70 minus 14 is going to give us 56. Final answer. So click in the box and type 56.